What it is, y'all, what it is. Back with another hip-hop flyer video. I have a lot of these to show. I have a lot of flyers. Not all of them I'll be talking about, but some of my favorite ones I want to share with you guys. This is another one. This is, I think, part 2 of the TMC stuff. I'm going to show you another TMC flyer. Had to pull out one of the binders again and pull out something pretty interesting. Soon after I moved to Arizona in '98, long story short, because I've told this story a few times, I got connected with Ty Carter, who was a rap promoter at the time, and he was also managing a group called No Question. And he needed a DJ. He was looking for a DJ for his group, and I happened to be in a room with him with a mutual buddy of both of ours. And as my buddy introduced me to Ty, he introduced me as a DJ, blah, 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 blah. Ty's like, I'm looking for somebody. Long story short, he connected me with DJing for his group, No Question. I think this might have been, the flyer I want to show you might have been the second time I ever performed with No Question. And this was when we opened up for Rakim. It was, I guess, one of the first times that Rakim had performed in Arizona. I find that hard to believe, but that's what the flyer says. I wouldn't know. I wasn't, I haven't lived in Arizona my whole life, so I don't know what happened. But supposedly this was Rakim's first Arizona performance. Anyway, let me show you what the flyer looks like, because it's a really cool flyer. There we have it right there. Now let's get a nice little close-up so you see everything that's going on here. And as you can see right here in the corner, that's No Question, Mike Wow, and Poker Face. I wasn't on there as a DJ. Well, for a couple of reasons. Number one, this promo pic was taken before I even moved here. They were finishing up the second album, Eclipse, and I wasn't a part of that whole thing. I just came on as a DJ right after all of that was completed, so I wasn't in any of the promo photos, nor did I appear on the album itself in any way, shape, or fashion. Anyway, what's so cool about this, well, let me just tell you what happened, my highlights of this concert and this performance that we did. This was at the Celebrity Theater. The Celebrity holds, if I'm not mistaken, 5,000 people. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I think the Celebrity holds 5,000 people. So we go down for sound check. Now, as you can see, the opening acts are the Alley Cats and X Factor, and also you got DJ Fashion on there. I remember at some capacity I was gonna play the instrumental to Paul Revere, and then there was another one. I can't remember the other song. So when the show was starting that night, I made sure I told Fashion, hey, don't play these couple songs, these 2-3 songs, because I'm using them. He's like, no problem. I don't think he was going to play them anyway. But if we go back to the actual sound check, Fashion wasn't there for that. I don't remember the Alley Cats at all. I don't remember them at all. But I know at the sound check, it was No Question, it was X Factor, and then it was Rakim. So Rakim and his DJ, I can't think of his name, just some guy who was DJing for him at the time. I remember that they did their sound check, and while they're doing their sound check, we're all just kind of sitting in the seats, because the celebrity is in the round, so we're sitting in the seats, and we're just watching Rakim. And I remember during their sound check, right after their sound check, him and Rakim and his DJ were just messing around on the turntables. Now, I didn't know at the time. In fact, it wasn't really, it wasn't confirmed until many years later. I didn't know that Rakim actually DJs, and he actually messes around with the turntablism type stuff. So I remember that Rakim and his DJ, they were just kind of messing around and laughing and goofing around. And I remember Rakim was trying to do the behind the back, the backspin behind the back and all of that. And we were checking them out, and whatever. They went and they did their sound check, and then No Question went next. And during the No Question show that night, I had a solo DJ where I'm just, I'm backspinning whatever I'm backspinning. I remember there was a part of the show where I grab a stool and I step up on the stool and I sit on the actual mixer, and I'm like going back and forth like this, and I got my butt on the crossfader and I'm going back and forth and boom, 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 and I'm doing all of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But I remember during the sound check, I'm like kind of, practicing, going through the whole routine. And, it's just us and the sound guys, and then you got the X Factor guys sitting around in the audience. And they're all like just kind of watching, like, And I remember as I was practicing my part, one of the needles skipped on one of the routines I was doing. And when the needle skipped, they all started laughing at me. Like they was like straight up dissing me. And then I hear him saying, new needle, new needle, new needle, like just mocking me and making fun of me. So I remember thinking, all right, wait till showtime. We'll see what time it is. And so we finished up our sound check, and that kind of stuff, that really made me nervous doing solos at shows back then. I mean, it was fun, and the crowd is always, into it, but still, it was very, very stressful for me because you want everything to go just right. So, X Factor does their sound check, this, that, and the other thing. So, showtime comes. And I remember X Factor, they went on, like I said before, I don't remember the Alley Cats, if they actually were there or not, if they actually performed. I don't think they performed, but if somebody here in Phoenix remembers that, holler at me, because I don't remember anything. I just remember you had DJ Fashion doing his thing, big ups to him. And then you had X Factor, who I should have pulled their record out. I do have their record that they put out. I think that was 98 98 that they put out a record. Anyway, they did their thing, and then their DJ Needles, big ups to Needles, me and him cool. I haven't seen him in a while, but they kind of put him on the spot, and he didn't know it. So they're during their routine, they finish a song, and then one of them was on the mic and was like, yo, DJ Needles, blah, 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 sir, DJ, woo. Yo, Needles, show him what's going on, show him what's up. Like, basically, hey, do something. And I don't think that was a part of their show, because I'm looking right at him, and he was not prepared. He just kind of looked like, huh? And so he just started looking for, some records that he could do something with. And by the time he pulled something out they had just went on with the next song in the show and he didn't get to do anything. So I just remember like, man, you guys are sitting up there laughing at me and making fun of me, and then you put your own DJ on the spot and he didn't even get to show off. You know what I mean? So that happened, and No Question goes up, and we do our thing. I don't remember a whole lot about, our set that night or whatever. But, oh, I got a picture. What I do remember is that when I did my solo, it was incredible. And everything went, I won't say everything went perfect, but everything, was great. And there's no better feeling than, rocking the turntables and having thousands of people screaming for you. There's a picture, I don't know who even took this picture, but there's a picture of me during my solo that night, and people, going off and getting busy. And I'll never forget, man. I never was into groupies and all of that kind of stuff, but two of the most beautiful women after the show. Never mind. We won't get into that. If you run into me, holla at me. I'll tell you the rest of that. Anyway. So yeah, that was me getting busy. It was fantastic. Doing my thing or whatever, and it was cool. It was a cool night. Rakim goes up, next, and of course, come on, it's Rakim. What are you talking about? So he did his thing. I remember there was this part during the show where he just kept, freestyling, and it was, I doubt it was like off the top of the head. It was more like just these verses, and just when you think he was done, he would be like, one more? Y'all want one more? And people, and then he spit some more. He spit another whole verse, just killing it. Get to the end, everybody's losing their mind, and one more? One more? Yeah, he spit another one. It was just over and over and over again. But he did all of his classics, and I remember after the show, when everything was all said and done, his DJ, Rakim's DJ, came over to me. Now, this is after he had saw us perform, and after he saw me do my solo routine. And he's like, yo, man. He was like, yo, I saw you get busy out there, man. I was like, oh, that's what's up, And he was like, yo, man, when me and Rakim were messing around, how come you didn't come over there and mess around with us? And I was just like, hey, man, I was just trying to get my record signed. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, have you ever been to New York? You ever DJ in the city at all? And I was just like, no, I never DJ'd in New York. Had I been to New York at that point? No, I had never been to New York at that point. I think I went to New York like a couple years later was my first trip. But you know what? I want to show y'all my, let me see if I can show y'all the record I got autographed that night. Let's see. Can you see it? There it is. I hope you can see that. There we go. A little bit. You can see that a little bit. But that's the record that Rakim signed for me that night, which was pretty cool. And I was kind of like, I was kind of nervous about that because at some point, and this was during sound check, somebody else wanted his autograph, but they wanted it on a CD. And so I remember, like, Rakim's guys was like, sort of like in between the guy and then Rakim, and he's standing there, and he wants his CD cover signed. And I remember one of Rakim's guys grabbed his CD cover and said, he'll sign it as long as it's like this. And then he like rips it in half. And what he did was the part of the picture with Eric B on it, he like ripped that part off and then gave it back to him and was like, he'll sign it like that. And I just remember thinking, man, if this dude, I'm not even going to give my album cover to him. Forget that. I ain't letting him get in there. If this dude ripped my album cover in half, it's going to be a situation up in there. And I ain't talking like, you know, like a tough guy or anything, because this dude was a whole lot bigger than me. I'm not a big guy. I'm not a, you know what I'm saying? I'm not an aggressive person. But dude, if you rip my Eric B and Rakim album cover, yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much it with that show. It was a great night. I mean, to be able to open for Rakim, and that wasn't the first time. There was one or two other times where I was a part of a Rakim show at some capacity and got to meet him. One or two other times, definitely, you know, after this show. This show was March 13th of 98. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was a great show, man. Ty Carter, TMC Presents, man. There was nothing like his shows. I'll say this 1,000 times. Nobody was touching TMC Presents. And this, you can take one good look at that flyer and you can tell that I know what I'm talking about. All right. So that's it for now. I'll be back with a lot more of these flyer videos, these rap flyers, hip hop type flyers, street flyers, things of that nature. But I have a lot of the TMC flyers that Ty did, and so you'll be seeing them on a regular basis. And I'm gonna try to focus on ones that I can talk about just a little, because I definitely wasn't there for all of them, and I have quite a few that I want to share with you. You guys are gonna love these flyers. Mid to late 90s, early 2000s. Some really, really cool stuff, all right? So that's it for right now. This is Daryl D. Thank you guys for hanging out. As always, y'all be safe, all right? Peace and love.